If you're just joining in, I'm about to tackle some crazy case here. It really starts back the day after they arrest Patrick Frazee on the 22nd, but it goes back even farther than that because there's no telling how long this boy was missing. I didn't jump on this case because I wasn't a sleuther. I wasn't trying to follow all these crazy Colorado people, but we talked about it very briefly, and it goes it's pretty crazy, and it gets even crazier. But this woman surrenders herself over. So she's 43. She turned herself in to the Denver police on Wednesday, January 2nd, and appeared in Denver courtroom the following day. Investigators have now released the cause of death or manner of death. Court records show Pankey was arrested for possession of heroin on December 22nd, the day before the body was found. McWilliams' father, Leland Pankey, is currently in jail. Court records show he was arrested in November 2017 after allegedly choking his wife until she lost consciousness. According to the affidavit, 2 children were home during the alleged attack. But there's new documents now that come out. 16 pages of court documents released Tuesday reveal new details about Elisha Pankey, the mother accused of killing her 7-year-old son, whose body was found encased in concrete in a southwest Denver storage unit in December. The documents also included new information about Elisha's husband, Leland Pankey. Elisha, 43, was charged with child abuse resulting in the death of abuse of a corpse in connection with the death of her son, Caden McWilliams, and is due back in Denver County Court on April 2nd. Caden's body was found in a storage unit in the 5000 block of East Evans Avenue. To put that into perspective, to kind of show you where that is, cancel, add. Let's do... So this is the storage unit in which Caden was found in. It's a storage unit kind of let's back out here. It's right off the Highway 25. Many of you guys have ridden this highway with me. This is Highway 25 up here, and so the body of this boy was encased in concrete, to put that into perspective. And then stuck in a storage unit. Elisha's arrest affidavit was one of the main documents released Tuesday by the Denver District Attorney's Office. It details the events that led to her being charged in her son's death, including being alleged abuse by Leland at an extended stay hotel in Aurora. So Leland is the boyfriend. The boyfriend is being charged as well. And so this storage unit is where they allegedly got rid of Caden, but the boyfriend is being charged as well, and he's being charged. He got he was charged on some abuse stuff. So on December 21st, 2018, Aurora and Denver police coordinated to monitor the Town Place Suites at Marriott Hotel in southeast Denver, where Leland was reportedly staying. When officers saw Leland enter the lobby, he was arrested by uniformed Denver Police Department officers. An officer asked Leland where his daughter and Caden were. Leland said his daughter was at an Aurora daycare center, but changed the subject when asked about Caden. DPD officers checked Leland's hotel room for Caden, but could not locate the boy. Officers then went to a daycare center near 200 block 225 Parker Road. While they found Leland's daughter, they could not locate Caden. At this point, officers went to speak with Elisha. Elisha told an officer that she had driven a BMW X5 to another extended stay hotel in Greenwood Village in the Denver Tech Center. Officers found the SUV in the hotel's parking lot and saw a number of large plastic totes in the back seat and saw an air freshener. Officers became suspicious that the vehicle and those totes may contain evidence related to Caden's disappearance, the affidavit state. The vehicle was secured by Aurora Police Department and towed to the Aurora Vehicle Impound. Then, Denver officers returned to the Marriott to conduct a more thorough search of the hotel room for Caden. They were unable to find Caden. However, they found approximately $40,000 in cash. A detective later went to the daycare center and spoke with the staff. The detective learned that on November 29, 2018, so just a few days after Thanksgiving, during the enrollment process, Leland said he wanted his daughter to be social with other kids because she had lost her brother. A daycare employee said Leland said something similar to he was sick and he couldn't help him, and something along the lines of he had died in reference to Caden. While searching the extended stay room in which Elisha was living, officers found heroin. Elisha was charged with possession of a controlled substance and booked into the Arapahoe County Jail. According to the affidavit, investigations learned that the principal of Caden's school said the boy last attended school on May 24, 2018. On August 24, 2018, Elisha went to the school and said she intended to homeschool Caden. Additionally, the affidavit states that a detective contacted Leland's mother, who lives in Virginia. The woman stated that Leland told her Caden had died earlier in 2018. She also said her son mentioned wanting to get rid of some items in a storage unit. While searching Elisha's extended stay room, officers found a business card for public storage on East Avenue near I-25 in southwest Denver. On December 23, 2018, Aurora police got a search warrant and cut the lock on the storage unit belonging to the Panskys. Detectives discovered a large object sealed in numerous layers of plastic. Detectives removed a few layers of the plastic, at which time they could smell the distinct odor of a decomposing body. The affidavit states cadaver dogs were brought in to the storage unit and alerted officers to the object covered in plastic. The DPD homicide unit was contacted, and the investigators began processing the crime scene after getting another search warrant. They found empty bags of Quikrete and a number of plastic water bottles. It had appeared the large item covered in plastic that the cadaver dogs alerted on contained cement, the affidavit states. After photography and measuring evidence, the DPD crime lab began to remove the plastic from the large object. A large plastic animal cage was found. Inside there was large chunks of cement inside the animal cage. A DPD bomb technician took x-rays of the object, but the results were inconclusive. The animal crate was taken to the Denver coroner's office. On December 24, 2018, a child's body was found inside the concrete. An interview with investigators, Elisha said Leland forced Caden to go into the animal carrier. Elisha said she was also make Caden go into the animal carrier when she took showers. According to the affidavit, sometime in July, Elisha found Caden dead in the animal carrier. Elisha told investigators that she and Leland then took the animal carrier to the storage units, filled it with concrete, and covered it in industrial-strength trash bags. Autopsy's result, released earlier this month, showed Caden had evidence of cocaine and methamphetamine in his liver. Caden was malnourished and had signs of abuse, including injuries on his head and body. According to the coroner's report, the coroner could not determine the cause of death. The report says he may have also suffered from dehydration, asphyxiation, and hypothermia, but those results could not be confirmed. Elisha remains in jail on $250,000 bond. Leland appeared in court December 2018 for an assault charge stemming from an incident that allegedly occurred between him and Elisha in 2017. Man, I'm not even sure. Somebody needs to call in and save this show. Oh, man. 719-377-0343. Call in and tell me what your thoughts are on this. 719-377-0343. So we first heard about this case literally while Kelsey's case was just unfolding in front of us. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even look at it. And then recently they released these court documents. They started to unfold what happened. And I don't understand. I just don't understand. People are so desperate. People are so desperate. I don't understand. How can a father stick his kid in a dog carrier? How can a mother allow it? Yeah, I think so too. I think he was probably missing, and probably the last he had been seen was in May. Oh, man. Well, if y'all ain't going to call in, I ain't going to sit here and chit-chat about this thing. I simply had the headline come across my page, and I had watched this case, and I had looked at it, and I thought about it, and I don't understand it. And now these more details coming out in the court affidavits and stuff, and you start to understand that this kid never had a chance. Like, I just don't understand. I mean, if you're in a position that you can't support your children, you can't feed your kids, you can't reach out for help. There are plenty of places you can reach out for help. These parents were addicted to drugs. It wasn't that they didn't have money. They found $40,000 cash when they arrested this dude. Dude, you're a drug dealer. You're 40,000 cash, and they put this kid in a cage and fed him drugs. That's some evil stuff. That's some evil stuff. I don't know. I haven't read anywhere who reported the child missing, because they told the family that the child had died. So they didn't report the kid missing, but they also didn't report it that the kid had died. The cops supposedly put this thing together based on the evidence that they got from the storage unit story that mom said. Mom told them that, well, they said something about that he had died and that they were going to remove some stuff from the storage unit. So then they went and searched the storage unit. That's at least what they're talking. I know, Dre. I feel you, girl. I feel you. These are the questions we all scream and ask at night. Trust me. I've danced with a few dark devils when my wife had a miscarriage. Trust me. And they continue. Is this a new thing? All about me? Oh, don't mind me. Just get mad and don't know what to say. What is this? I don't understand what you're saying, Miss Kara. It sounds like you're. Are you talking about these people? The new details coming out of how they just didn't know what to handle, how to handle it? Or are you just trolling? I didn't read your other comments, so I guess I'll read your other comments. Sickening, no words. Oh, yes, Ross. I understand what you're saying. Prayers going up. Was this the father or the boyfriend? He looks like the father to me. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Is this a new thing with them? I think Kara's being misunderstood. I think Kara's being misunderstood by guys. She's talking about these people, the mom and dad. She's talking about the woman and the man who did this, that they were kind of all about themselves. I believe that's what she's talking about. So she's upset that, that these people are completely selfish, is what I believe Kara Baby Boomer is talking about. And so don't anybody get upset and get all mad. People, there's some confusion being lost in chat. So don't get all worked up. It makes all of us sick. And it's weird though. I would believe the daughter has been taken into protective custody and put into You know, I understand, Carl. It seems that way. I think this is a combination of probably some drugs. This is a combination of probably a lot of things. But you know, at first I'm like, man, are they just in need so much that they can't take care of their kid? But then they find $40,000 cash, and you just wanna, you do wanna scream. You wanna blow up, you know. And so. Whew. Evil is very prevalent. That is no doubt. Whoa. I don't know what to think about it. You know, I sometimes wonder if things like this happen because this kid was in incredible torture. To lock him in an animal cage, to malnourish, to not feed him. He was probably really dehydrated. Sometimes I wonder if death was not a relief. It doesn't give us relief. It doesn't give us understanding, but when you think about how this happened, why this happened, sometimes that the idea that maybe the only way out for Caden was the other side. His sister might have escaped. Man, I tell you, this is why I need to believe there is some sort of justice on the other side. Because there's nothing in my mind that you could dish out to these two Pankeys. There's nothing in my mind that you could dish out to them. Now, he might not have been the dad. I think Caden had a different last name, so you know, he might not have been the dad, and that even is worse. Where was Dad? Where's Dad at? You know? This is another example of a single mom with two kids. She was probably struggling, and she hooked up with this Elisha Pankey, this drug dealer, and he treated her however. Put the kids in a dog crate and mom let it happen. No doubt, Kendra. Not all drug addicts abuse their kids. No way, no how. But more often than not, when drugs take control and it leads to a controlled life, the kids are not going to be taken care of. You know? I'm not talking about your successful businessman that's doing a line of coke at the party. I'm talking about these continual drug addicts that are selling drugs, doing drugs. That ain't no good for them, okay? That ain't no good for the kids. It's no better though. It's no better than an alcoholic mom beating on her kid or an alcoholic dad beating on her kid. It's no better than a drugged up prescription medicine, mom that is zombified out. So yeah, we don't have to blame the drugs on this cruelty, but I guarantee it helped along the way. Are these people a product of their own upbringing? Were their parents abusive, and did they get abused as a child? But see, that don't even fly with me, because my wife came up in one of the most broken families you could have. And she flipped the script on the family tree. And so you're never the sum of your parents. You're never the sum of your mother or father. And so, I believe everybody has a chance, even if you went through something as a child. I know too many people that grew up in tough lives that have made it for themselves, and they have incredible families. So it's hard to lay blame that maybe it was Elisha's upbringing, or maybe it was Leland's upbringing that caused them to treat Caden like this. It's crazy. It's sick. Yeah, right, Christy 64. Addiction is a disease. My child just died from addiction. But evil is a whole different spectrum. Yeah, addiction can be a tool that evil uses to take. See, it don't matter. Evil don't give a shit. Evil don't care if you're man, woman, or child. Evil don't care if you're black, white, green, orange, blue. The evil don't care. Man, it's a destruction of the family where it all goes down. You ruin we've created this system. It's crazy. We've created this system where life is devalued. I guarantee some of me wishes that the old system worked. The old system was still around. This woman admitted to it. This man has been charged with it. Let's just swift it. Hang him in the streets. I probably would have been hung many, many, many years ago. But now they stretch this thing out and they turn it into this weird, twisted story. Man. I do believe it. I do believe the family is structured for the two-parent family, but I've met too many families that are evolved. And that's the best way I like to say it. I think that there's an intent, and there's like the right way, and then there's ways that have made it, right? I know too many single moms that have struggled through and raised kids that turned out to be awesome kids. I've seen it too much. I've seen too many, divorcees meet the love of their life and then lead a happily ever after life, and the co-parenting thing works out between the stepmom and dad. There's too many variables that have come together and worked. Do I think there's a perfect way? Yeah, I think there's a perfect way. I think there's the right way. I wouldn't even say that there's a wrong way. I would just say that we have destroyed the traditional family in a sense, and it's come through a number of ways. But when you devalue the family, and this is all about Women's Month, by the way. You guys understand all of this. This is all about the month of March being Women's Month, you know. And we definitely have destructured a family. We've taken it down. We've devalued life. We've turned it into a business. We really have. You go in debt to have a baby at a hospital if you don't have insurance. You know, the medical world has made pregnancy a sickness, which is, man, that was brilliant. However, they figured that out. Tell pregnant women they're sick and they got to go to the hospital. Now you're going to get like home birth dad for a second. Like, that's the one thing I did learn about having a home birth at my house, is that, man, we jacked some stuff up when we told moms they were sick when they were pregnant. They're not sick. That's why you go to the hospital. You go to the hospital when you're sick. Yeah, having a baby, that's the most natural thing a woman could ever do. So yeah, we've jacked some stuff up. Now, let's look at what we also did. We probably changed the birth rate and we shot it up through the roof because of modern medicine. And in situations where a baby would have died or the mother would have died, we're able to save mothers through like these miracles called C-sections. So don't think I'm against healing medicine, first of all. I'm all about getting my knee fixed when it gets broke. But for all intensive purposes, we've made every pregnancy a sickness, and maybe only a few go off smoothly or something, you know. But hey, listen, and I've lived through all of them. We've induced, we've had hospital births, we've had home births, we've had this epidural births, we've had non-epidural births. Trust me, I lived through them all and watched it all. But that's the funny thing when it comes to children, this responsibility that's given to two people that binds them together for life. A child binds two people together for life. Even when those people don't want to be bound together, they are still bound by their child. That's a pretty crazy thing. I'm all with you, little lady. Throw them meds in the freaking trash. Flawed and happy, it sure doesn't. At flawed and happy, it sure doesn't. I'm just reading some of your comments. Don't even think we got it figured out though. Shit, me and Miss Underground, we've had our battles along the way. Marriage isn't easy. Family's not easy. But it sure ain't putting kids in freaking dog carriers. It sure as hell ain't killing kids and then concreting them in the freaking storage unit. I don't know. I don't know where that kind of evil comes from. I don't understand how that evil could ever be. Yeah, Julie, you might just want to leave, girl. This is not a fun one. We kind of just broke through a little. They released some more information about this case where a mother confesses to basically taking her child that died in a carrier because they had abused their kid, and she had maybe been abused by her boyfriend, and the boy had definitely been abused by the both of them. And they stuffed this kid in a dog crate and they concrete him up after he dies, and they hide him in there, and then months and months go by. Finally, the police had put some stuff together. They had been doing an investigation. Sounds like they actually did some police work. and they found the body. They were able to charge the mother. The boyfriend is in jail. But now details are coming out that the boy had heroin and cocaine in his system. The boy had probably been neglected and malnourished for months. He was dehydrated. Yeah, the mother didn't go to the police. The mother broke down. Let's be honest. The mother broke down, and she didn't have a choice. The torment in her heart was ripping her apart. Hey, Yolanda, your shirt shipped. I got a tracking number for that thing. I don't know if they emailed you that. A bunch of people bought some my freaking mug shirts. Yolanda I saw your shirt had shipped out, or they had printed the shipping label. So anyway, I know that's something totally different. I just saw your name and was like, how do I know? Oh my God, what's her name? Blah, 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 blah. Oh boy, Dad with the phone. You need have to do some crime stories on the East Coast. The boy took the girl from Massachusetts and killed her in New York, put her in a suitcase, and was caught in Delaware. Missy, thank you. That's such a nice thing to say. What are your thoughts on how he got the drugs in his system? I think they probably gave them to him. I'll be honest with you. They probably gave him. That's the bottom line. That boy was probably suffering. Mom probably couldn't stand it, and she probably got him high so that he would just be off and not worried, not crying. The update on the landfill search came out from a few sources. Nothing's been found. A lot of people donating food to the searchers and the workers there. But, I've talked about the landfill search with Kelsey's case in depth a lot. But you can go back and check out some of those videos. It's pretty much the same. Workers are out there. It's going to be cold and snowy, and they're going to be sifting through stuff. But yeah, it's interesting, though, how his last name is different. That's the only thing I wondered about. So that it might be mother and father, for sure. It could very well be mother and father. Well, Yolanda, I don't know what they did. We're gonna get into KK's story tomorrow. We're gonna get into the evidence they have. If you guys are just joining, tomorrow night we're gonna do Dad with a phone talks to Dad with a gun and a badge, and we're gonna talk about evidence that they could or may not have. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. Today this is a recap on a story that it actually broke right around the same time the Kelsey story kind of moved into high gear. So they arrested Patrick on the 21st. On the 23rd-ish, of December, they started to put together the pieces in this death, and they found the body of Caden encapsulated in concrete and stuffed in a storage unit. The mother broke down and told the story to law enforcement. I hope I didn't just lose y'all. Told the story to law enforcement how they had abused this kid and then took him to these storage units. And they had put together and encapsulated him in these storage units right in the middle of town. They and it could have happened as far back as May, but they didn't come out, and it didn't come out, and it didn't click. Nobody reported this boy missing. They told the family the boy had died, but no police report had been done, and people, didn't report because they had told the family the boy had died, and there was a lot missed, and they put the body in plastic and then encapsulated in concrete. There was still an odor at the storage units, because when they began to look at the storage units and begin to get in there, they said that there was definitely a smell of a decomposing corpse. But the fact that nobody, the fact that nobody reported the kids, but nobody reported the abuse. No one reported when the dad told people that the boy had died. So yeah, it's a pretty heavy topic. There you go. It's horrible, Leah. Horrible. They have both people in jail. They have somewhat of a closure in the story now, since they have the body, and they're finally they're probably making a deal with mom. They probably took the death penalty off the plate and made a deal with mom. I don't even want to think about it too much, Now that I've thought about it, I'm definitely kind of over it, to try to understand how you could ever hurt a kid. Man, I know some pretty annoying kids. Never. How could you? How could you hurt a child? I know some crazy kids. And now when I look at those crazy kids, I always wonder, what kind of beautiful life are they going to turn into? Like this kid here, he didn't make it. But there's plenty of them that make it out there, that come out of abusive homes, families that are broken, screwed up. There's plenty kids that make it. There's kids right now that are in the same situation this kid is in. And they're going to make it. They're going to make it. I believe for them. But if you see an abuse, if you see something with kids like this, reach out to more than just the cops. Reach out to more than just the cops. The cops ain't doing nothing. They could have looked at this back when they arrested him. They could have looked at this abuse down the road. They could have looked at this long before. Reach out to more than just the cops. if you see a situation like this. When I say more than the cops, freaking scream it from the internet. Scream it from the media. Find somebody that'll scream it with you. Because here's the deal. This kid could have been saved too. If somebody would have stood up and said something. If somebody would have had their eyes open for half a second. The same thing with a lot of these cases. Damn straight with Kelsey's case. Damn straight somebody could have saved Kelsey's life. Thank you guys for hanging out, screaming at each other, crying with me, screaming with me, getting mad. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you.